This is Miss T, and this is the assignment. Let's keep it real raw and straight to the point, because we ain't got time for all that. You see, we living in a time where too many kids is walking around with the latest shoes, designer belts, glued down lace fronts, and attitudes bigger than their education. They talking slick, cussing out their teachers, fighting in classrooms like they're in a street ring, but can't read a simple paragraph out loud. Acting hood and hard, don't pay your bills. Being disrespectful, don't put no food on the table. But you can't tell some of these parents nothing, because they up in the school cussing the teachers out too, setting the example for their kids to act a fool. Let's talk facts. Teachers are tired, for real. They tired of being punched on, screamed at, disrespected, and paid crumbs to watch your badass kids. They didn't go to school to become punching bags or babysitters. They went to teach. But how can they teach a child who got zero home training, zero respect, and parents who don't show up until it's time to defend the mess their child done caused? It's crazy out here. You see, back in the day, if you even looked at a teacher sideways, your mama would pop up at that school with a belt, not a bonnet, not excuses, and beat that ass. Nowadays, these parents walking and smelling like loud, talking about not my child. Oh yes, baby, it is your child. That same child who be on TikTok acting grown and can't spell their own name, right? I said what I said. And let's be real, the free ride is drying up. Ain't no more guaranteed food stamps forever. Ain't no more Section 8 just sitting there for generations. When the system finally says no more, what y'all gonna do then? Yeah. Because that acting too cool to learn mentality don't pay rent. Those disrespectful attitudes don't feed your babies. When the help stops, who's left to blame? These kids better wake up. And these parents better wake up right behind them. Because if your child can't read, can't write, can't respect authority, and can't function in society, guess what? That's not the teacher fault. That's your fault, boo. That's your fault your child is a dummy. That's your child fault. That's your fault, mama. That's your fault, daddy. It is not the teacher's fault that your child don't do right. Education starts at home. Respect starts at home. Manners starts at home. You can't send your child to school broken and expect teachers to perform miracles for $30,000 salaries and a bag of stress. You got, girl, look. Parents need a reality check. School is not daycare. Teachers are not your child's personal damn nannies. In the world don't owe your child nothing. If they don't straighten up, life will humble them faster than any teacher ever could. Jail cells and homelessness don't come with Section 8 and EBT cards, and I say what I said. So maybe, just maybe, it's time to put the phones down, turn the music off, sit these kids down, and parent for real, and stop trying to be your child friend. Stop trying to be your child's best friend and start being a parent. Correct them when they wrong. Teach them respect. Make them pick up a book, not just a cell phone or a tablet or a computer. Because this next generation can't afford to be lazy, entitled, and uneducated. But you better realize and you better know a storm is definitely coming. And when the handouts stop, the only thing that'll matter is what you taught your child to stand on. And what have you taught your children to stand on? Because it looked like you taught them to stand on disrespect. You teaching them how to be unruly. You're teaching them to be selfish. Little narcissists. So if I'm wrong, What are you teaching your kids? Because let's be honest, this ain't just about these kids wilding out at a school. This is about a whole generation being set up to fail because nobody wants to step up and be the parent anymore. So many parents trying to be cool, trying to be their child's bestie, but not trying to raise them with discipline, respect, or accountability until your child knocking you upside your head, telling you where you can get off at, telling you what you gonna do and what they not gonna do. Baby, thank you, Jesus, my child is 33. Because if she would have tried it with me, she wouldn't have 6 kids today. I said what I said. We got kids who can memorize every word to a rap song but can't spell responsibility. Kids who will argue with a teacher but won't argue with their own laziness and dumbness and slowness. They want to be grown so bad until it's time to pay a light bill, until it's time to handle life without that EBT card, without that free lunch, because baby, the real world don't care about your excuses. Life will humble you real quick. You better ask somebody who done been there and done that. Teachers ain't the problem. They the ones holding the last bit of order in a system that's already crumbling. These teachers walking into classrooms with pepper spray in one hand and prayers in the other, just hoping they make it through the day without a fight breaking out or a parent cussing them out for doing their damn job. And y'all wonder why good teachers are walking away. They tired of being underpaid, unappreciated, and overworked. Meanwhile, some of these parents sitting at home with no plan, depending on government assistance, like it's a forever thing. But let me say this real clear. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing. Section 8 can get snatched. Your food stamps can get cut. Assistance with different programs can dry up. And when that safety net is gone, then what? Because that's what they trying to do. They trying to take away everything that benefits you, who poor, who ain't really got it like that. What happens when your child can't get a job because they dropped out, disrespected their way out of opportunities, or never learned the basics? What then? It's not funny when the lights get cut off. It's not cute when eviction papers hit the door. It's not real when you're standing in a line at a shelter with your kids because you refuse to take life seriously. That's your damn fault. We gotta stop raising kids on excuses and start raising them on discipline and purpose. And for these parents who think, well, that's the way the school is, that's the school's job. No, ma'am. No, sir. It's your job. It is your job. Schools can only do so much. The teacher can only do so much. If your child shows up to school already lost, it's not fair to expect a teacher to fix it in 8 hours. What you won't work on at home? I'm just saying. You want them to babysit your child for 8 hours. And you complain and don't do what you need to do within the 16 hours that you have your kids. I'm just saying. It's a wake-up call. The world is getting colder. Jobs require skills. Rent is sky high. Survival is real out here. And ain't nobody about to hand your child anything because they got a bad attitude and a sad story. Don't give a damn about that. If they don't learn to respect people and respect their education and respect themselves, life will eat them alive. This world don't owe your children nothing. This world don't owe you nothing. So yes, parents, it's time for a hard reset. Because if you don't teach them, this world gonna teach them. I promise you. If you don't beat their ass, if you don't help get your children's minds right, the system gonna beat them. The streets gonna beat them. The jailhouse gonna beat them, or they gonna end up in the grave. I say what I say. It's time to teach these kids some respect. Show up for them. Make education a priority. You see what the government doing? They don't give a damn. They trying to take all the educational programs out and want to give your stuff back to the states. They taking it from the government, so everything gonna be focused state by state by state for your children. Half of y'all might want to think about homeschooling if you can. Because we don't know what they teaching our kids. But it's time to stop blaming teachers for what you are not doing at home. Because when the handouts stop and reality hit, excuses won't keep them lights on. And when your child grow up lost, angry, and unprepared, that's not on the system. That's on you, boo. So either we raise them now or the streets and the system will raise them later. And trust me, the streets don't love nobody. Y'all better get y'all children together because these children is insane. It is so disrespectful. Let me tell y'all a story. I was working at this daycare facility, and I'm not going to say no names because they located in Houston, Texas, and I'm sorry to say, but the director and her sister, very unprofessional. But they hired me to be a lead teacher. And so I liked the job. I mean, I had no problem with my students because I teach pre-K. I had no problem with my students. Everything was fine. But somehow she'll see me with my class quiet. They listening. They doing what they have to do. And she'll come in my classroom and take out certain kids and give me all of the bad kids that was disrupting her class. So now you done gave me these badass little kids to come up in here to disrupt my classroom. So that means all of the children that I have quiet are now being disruptive because now the other kids that was being bad in the other lady class that came up in here, now they be bad. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not the one. I am not the one. And when I say sit down, sit down. If I say buckle your lips, buckle your lips. If I say crisscross applesauce, it better be a crisscross applesauce. And put your finger on your lip. And let me tell you something. All I have to do is give a certain look, baby, and they get it together. Because I didn't play. But let me tell you, I ended up leaving the job because I didn't like her doing that. I really had a problem. And then you not paying me that much. You only paying me $16 an hour, which it was okay. But still, to put up with your sister bullshit and your bullshit, I'm not about to do it. I'll put up with the kids all day. But you bitches, I'm not putting up with it. So anyway, I make a long story short, and excuse me from cursing, y'all, because I do have my days when I have a potty mouth, and I'm working on that, so forgive you, girl. But I was like, I'm getting tired of it. So one day she was in her office and she was having a conversation. I don't know who the people was, but I had to leave. So she gonna say, excuse me, don't you see I'm having a conversation? I said, yeah, but I have to go. But you can't talk to me when I say I have to go. So I went back to my classroom, got my bag, and once she was done, she's gonna call me in her office and say, I think that was very unprofessional and very rude of you to walk in my office telling me that you had to go while I was conducting business. Yeah, you was conducting business with the state. But the state need to know how you running this facility. You are running it deep down in the hole. And then you got your fat ass grandson eating up all of the food. You got your sister in the kitchen, she cooking. You don't want to hire nobody to work the facility. Your sister, she a pre-K teacher. Look, anyway. So one day, and she had brought this little boy in my class named Terrence. And I'm not gonna lie, I really liked the little boy. He was Terrence. His name was Terrence. And at the time, I was sitting in the chair. Now, he was not in my class at that time. But when he come in my class, he always caused a racket. And this particular day, she brought him in my class and pulled the other kids out and brought the bad kids in my class. And now at this point, I'm like, okay, wow. So the little boy was running around the classroom and I was sitting in a spin around chair. by the board. I reached out to grab the little boy and I fell on the floor, hit my head on the chalkboard. Okay, now first of all, I'm already embarrassed because I done hit this damn floor. The kids is looking at me. And remind you, we got cameras in our class, and I do not care because I'm gonna put on a show if I have to. So I fell on the floor, hit my head on the chalkboard, and I started pretending like I was crying. So all of the kids was like, "Are you okay?" Like, I want y'all to feel bad. Look what y'all did. So the little boy, Terrence, he was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Miss T. I'm so sorry." The lady gonna come to the door, the director, "Miss T!" So I went, "Shh." She said, "To my office right now." Well, look, when you a teacher, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I was just trying to make the kids feel bad for what they did because I was on the damn floor. To make a long story short, y'all, I never went back to that kind of job. Like, as much as I love working with kids, working for her was hell. And then the crazy part about it, you feed all of the kids a certain amount of food, and your grandson get to eat up all the food. Like, that's not right. That's not right. But y'all need to train y'all kids. It starts at home. Teach your children to behave, to be respectful. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Ain't nothing wrong with saying yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. Ain't nothing wrong with saying, "Can I have some, please, and thank you"? What is wrong with you parents that y'all don't teach this at home? It's okay for your kids to act a ass at home, but when they leave that house, they should be on their best behavior. With that being said, this is Miss T talking tea as usual. And the lesson for today is, parents, you ain't got time to be your child's friend. Not in this day and era. You better teach your children some discipline. You better teach your children some respect. And if you need to learn some respect and discipline, parents, y'all need to handle y'all business too, because the old way ain't gonna work today. Goodbye.